wasn't the best time to do it because someone decided to call me literally just as I started it. So anyway, so for those who are uninitiated and unaware, we are rebuilding an XS250 Yamaha 1979 model. I know very little about motors, but we are learning as we go with the help of, there's a lot of crap on it at the moment. I literally cleaned my shed before I started this project and my shed's a mess. With the help of this manual, Haynes manual for the XS250, and a little bit of just stuffing around and finding out, pretty much. So, where we're at. Last live stream, I believe we were cleaning the old gasket off of the cylinder head here. We have done that. We have refit the cylinder head, and I shall show you right now. Take you on a little quick tour. You can see that little bit of green in there. That's the new gasket. Everything's back in. Everything's back on. It's been timed because the manual, thank goodness, told me how to do that. So the cam's been timed correctly, as best to my knowledge that I know. What we're doing today is we're chucking that piece of metal over there. Yeah, mind the dogs in the background. Chucking that back on top here. There's a whole section in here on how to do that. So you're going to watch me learn, essentially. But before we do all that, we're gonna double check the angle on that one. Probably only gonna get like 20 people watch this, but it's worth it. I like doing it. It's full posterity. I can look back on this later. So we are placing the camshaft covering tachometer drive shaft. If the rocker arms and pins have been removed, they must now be replaced, which I didn't do. I didn't remove the rocker arms. I've got them still attached. They've been, I believe these things in here are the rocker arms. They've been waiting patiently to go back on. Before I do that, I'm just going to give that a quick wipe out with a relatively clean yet oily rag. Yeah, some of the stuff is just like a lot of crud has built up on this, and some of the stuff needs to go. Yeah, it's going well, but there's a little worm gear in there. So that little worm gear drives a tachometer, which tells me how many revolutions per minute the engine's doing. And that's driven by, you probably can't see it with the camera set up over there, but it's a pain in the bum to take the camera out every 5 minutes. So just trust me, bro. There's like a bigger version of that attached to the camshaft, and that's what drives the tachometer. So that's the beauty of doing this. No knowledge to start with. I'm actually learning a shit ton by just trying to do this engine back up. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Like, I like doing stuff like this, just challenging myself with things like this, and it's definitely been a challenge. A lot of it's been a challenge, but there's all this old gunk on here. I'm pretty sure it's old gasket cement. The manual does state that I need to redo the gasket cement on this cover here, which you'll get to see me try, and probably completely muck up and have to try again, but we'll give it a go. There's no harm in trying. That's the thing. Like, if this all goes pear-shaped and never works again, at least I learned something. It would be a very expensive lesson, but it'll probably cost me the same in TAFE fees to learn all this at TAFE. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've got to put this back on, but before we do that, all this old gunk on there, we've got to scrape that all off. Also, very important lesson I learned, cleaning out this and that, is that you can see there. Yeah, so not carby cleaner, but like throttle body cleaner, really strips paint. Paint doesn't like it at all. So after this is all done, after this is all back on, we do it all by what the manual says. We then have to give this a good clean, as you can see in there, and I'll give you a close-up later when we get to that stage. Whatever you say, handsome. Okay, thank you. I personally don't think I'm handsome, but your comment inspires me to continue to step away from the camera, because I'm pretty sure I look more attractive the further away from a camera I am, but thanks. Cutting herbs. What kind of herbs you cutting? What kind of herbs you cutting? Hello to you as well. It's good to see you here. Yeah, but basically the cylinder block, the whole reason I took it off was to repaint it. It's been repainted. So without further ado, we'll get stuck into that. But that basically sits over this like so. See, there's these dowels here. Oh, there's another one on the other end there, and you've got to line them up, which is going to be a lot of fun when I'm trying to put on gasket cement. And that's not wanting to come down. So what's the issue there, brother? We'll just give it a light tap. I think that, yeah, something's wrong there. Ruh-roh. Ugh, why don't you want it to sit? Is it this thing? Is this thing sitting too proud? Shouldn't be. Should be just right. Oh, I bet you I've got it back to front. I guarantee you I've got it back to front. Let's have a look. Let's consult the manual. See, that's the thing. I looked at this manual a million times. No, that's apparently right. Apparently the right way around. There's the engine number there. There we go. 5947. Now I know what the engine number is. Oh. Yes, so that is the right way around, but for some reason that cover's not wanting to go back down, which is going to be an interesting conundrum to solve. Anyway, I've apparently lubricated the pins before inserting them with threaded ends outwards. Hey? What are you talking about? With threaded ends outwards? Oh no, he's talking about these pins in here. Okay, don't worry about that. Check condition of the sealing washers on the plugs. Yep. Insert the tachometer drive shaft and housing followed by the plain washer. Yeah. Don't need to worry about that. That's already in there. I haven't removed it. Apply a non-hardening sealing compound to the mating surface of the camshaft cover. So that's how glue, which, remember where I put it? Yeah. Rubber seal, so it doesn't harden. Set time 30 minutes. That's our rubber seal. They're not a sponsor. I've got no idea what gasket cement is, but this is it in a tube. So before we go ahead with any of that, the first thing we need to do is find that chisel we were using last live stream, which is over here. And can I just say real quick, the best part about all of this, putting all this back together, is I don't have bits and pieces of shit just laying around the shed anymore. So, yeah, look, this stuff's going to come off pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of it. Yeah, look at that, just scraping off real easy. And most of the time I can kind of peel it off. But this is, yeah, obviously with the chisel, being very gentle and not moving it towards my body, because I was fortunate enough to learn most of what I know about shed stuff and tools, because I wasn't really interested in it as a kid. I only got kind of interested in it like in my 20s, still in my 20s, but I was very fortunate that the person I learned from used to be a cabinet maker and had injured himself as a cabinet maker. And you might think cabinet maker, they know how to make cabinets. No, this man knew how to do a lot of stuff, and shout out to him. His name's Pete. So if he ever sees these videos, Pete, thank you for all you taught me. I actually get a chance to talk to him next month face to face, so I will tell him that I have learnt a lot. But yeah, so the main thing he taught me about using a chisel, never do these ones, and never do these ones. Have it going towards any part of your body, because one slip, chisel will it'll mess you up, man. It'll mess you up bad. That's not how he said it, but that's how I remember it. But yeah, so just getting these old bits of, I'm pretty sure it's gasket cement, off of this, so the new seal can go on, and it can seal up real good, and then hopefully we never have to take this cover off ever again, well, at least for another couple thousand kilometers. Yeah, and ideally, like I've already made a commitment that I'm going to have this running and on the road and roadworthy by the end of the year. And look, I got the bike pretty cheap. So like I said, expensive lesson, but cheap motorbike. And if it all goes pear-shaped, like the bike doesn't turn back on, I'll just take it to the local motorbike mechanic and just say, here, I tried to fix it. I messed up. please fix it for me. So hopefully I don't have to do that. Hopefully I can just do it myself, which would be really nice. And there'd be a great sense of, like, you know, accomplishment being able to do that yourself. So that's what I'm going for, and I'm hoping that's where we end up. Is that in a couple weeks or maybe a month or two, there'll be a live stream where I actually write it. And if I can figure out how to do it, maybe do the live stream while I'm writing it. But mainly I'm concerned with just getting the motor back on and getting it running. And there's a couple bits that need to happen before that. But there's I've got a new sprocket kit, new chain kit, because it needs both of those. And they've already arrived. They're waiting to go on. I haven't taken them out of their package because I don't want those things getting covered in dust and crud from the shed. So they'll be staying in their package until we get to there. But if we get to it tonight, and I'll probably do another live stream tomorrow because I've got a couple of hours to kill before I go back to work tomorrow, we'll look at redoing these ones down here. So that nut it's pretty rooted. It's rounded. It's rusty. Yeah, it's rooted. It's probably the original nut, but we've got to replace that. We definitely got to replace this. That's the original washer. They're not supposed to look like that. That is just chewed up. I don't know how that's so chewed up, but it's chewed up. And then here's our sprocket, which, as far as I know, isn't too bad. But I figure if we're going to replace the rear drive socket, the rear sprocket on the wheel, we should replace the drive sprocket as well. So that's where we're at. Yeah, and everything in there needs a clean, because something was making a nest in there. I did talk about it last stream. There's like it's like this muddy, oily mess in there. It's very, very gross. I hate touching it, and I'm not going to touch it again until I put some gloves on my fingies, because I got that weird thing that happens in your head that when you put on gloves, you can touch the grossest stuff. But when I don't have gloves on, I don't want to touch it. But we've got most of the edge crap off. There's just a couple little bits inside that need a little bit of just need to be picked up, scraped away sort of thing. I want to be very careful with that though, because I don't want to end up with like bits of metal inside this case, because it's going to circulate through the motor, I think. I don't know. I think. Yeah. How's everyone's day anyway? Got 2 comments so far. If you've just joined the stream, tell me what you did today. And also, another thing I've noticed since I've started doing these live streams and me working and learning on the motorbike, if you're not from Australia, tell me where you're from. Never replace one socket without replacing the other. And yeah. So I was right in assuming that, because I figured if I'm going to replace one, I need to replace the other. Because I've never done any servicing on motorbikes at all. You probably missed that part where I was talking about how little I know. This is all new to me, but by golly gosh, I'm loving it. It's good. We got most of the crap off. So this is a final little measure. And Greg grabbed the bottle of turpentine. Now, this bottle of, kick the tripod then. Always replace both sockets when replacing the chain. Yeah. Sprockets, you're doing the same thing I did. Yeah, so this wasn't sitting on the ground being like all in my road and stuff. It's just terps. I actually do have like a little section in my shed where I keep all the chemicals and bottles and stuff. So that way I know that, if for whatever reason parts of my shed catch fire, autocorrect. I've got autocorrect in my brain too, but it's not correct. So it's like, I know, it's all good, man. It's funny that you made the same mistake I did though. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I keep all the bottles of stuff in a certain area in my shed. So, the workbench catches fire. There's not really anything here that's going to explode. If like that area of the shed catches fire, it's just camping gear. If that area of the shed is on fire, where I was going to turn around the camera, there's too much crap on the ground. Where I keep all the chemicals, get out of the shed. Stay out of the shed, because that's all bad. Everything over there is like bad when it burns. But yeah, so I mean, I could have got some like, there is gasket remover or softener or something you can get. I didn't think I'd need it, and I really should have got it for the last one, because I was sitting there for ages getting off that old gasket. I don't have to worry about it now though, because it's done. So now we can just get a little bit of terps on a rag and just give this a nice good wipe to make a nice clean surface. Making sure we don't end up with bits of rubber inside the motor, preferably. That would be good. And then, yeah, just give the rest of it a really good wipe, let the terps dry. Reseat it, because for some reason it's not wanting to sit down properly. And then put it all back together. And then there's further steps after we put the cover on that I haven't had a look at yet, but I know it involves having a look at how these valves sit. Yeah, I already had a look at how they sit, but having a look at how they sit inside the cover. So that is actually, there you go, that is a really good tip. That terps with the old gasket cement, that works wonders. It is, like, that was all black before, that little section down there that you see, and that's coming off really, really well. I'm just making sure I don't touch the paint, because I don't want to have to do this again where I take everything apart, because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of parts that just sit around the shed just waiting to get put back on the motorbike. So this one belongs to a Yamaha XS250, 1979 model. First ever motorbike I've bought. I've got my license, I've got my learners. I haven't got my restricted motorbike license yet. Who's that Krabby Patty? He looks like a 20 bucks is 20 bucks kind of. Fuck, I haven't heard that joke since high school. And that was like over 10 years ago. Yeah, anyway, it's that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, XS250. So it's a cruiser style sort of motorbike. I like the older, like Ducati Scramblers, and what's the other one? It's a Suzuki, can't remember the name of it, but they're they're good motorbikes. I like the look of them. It's only a 250, and I figured while I'm learning, I'll just get something a little underpowered, so that way I can't get myself into trouble. I come from a whole family of people with motorbike licenses and have ridden motorbikes all their life. I'm more of a four-wheel kind of guy, but I figure if I don't get it now and get my motorbike license later, it'll be considered a midlife crisis, and I don't want to be that guy. So I figured I'd get it now. And my dad's always said, like, people who get their motorbike licenses when they're in their 40s and 50s never really get the full experience out of them, because you're a lot more cautious. And don't get me wrong, very cautious person. Try to make really, really safe, sensible decisions all the time. But I used to have a quad, and I loved taking that to the river. And I know you can't take like a road motorbike to the river, but it'd be nice to just have something that I can zoom around on the roads out here, and the really windy roads, really windy roads where I'm at now. So, and Dad being a lifelong motorbike rider, he came down here for a visit. Well, he's come down a couple of times, but he said this is such a good place to have a motorbike. Like, what is going on? Trash people supports trash people. Are you saying you're a trash person and I'm a trash person and you support trash people? Because if that's the case, thank you, Tema. No choice due to land. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think you can. Apparently they changed it. It used to be like a certain CC, but now it goes off of horsepower or something like that. I don't really know, but I know that this one's definitely fine to have on a learner's. I don't know. I haven't ridden it on the road yet because I've literally only just bought it a couple of weeks ago. I'm taking my son through his learners at the moment. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's the other reason I wanted to get it, because it'd be a really cool bonding experience for me and Dad to, ride around on a motorbike. So that's why I'm keen to do it. Yeah, and it just looks like a lot of fun. And like the more I get into it, the more I realize it's something I should be doing, because it's used to be 250cc. Now it's power to weight. That's the one. That's not horsepower, is it? Horsepower is different. Learners, yeah. That's I've heard that that's the reason why it changed, but they reckon since that whole Key Ride program's come in, it saved a lot of people. It's one of those things. It's like you can say it was Q Ride, or you can say it was something else, whatever, or you could say it was just less people were having crashes for whatever reason. But I mean, it's a good enough excuse to get people to do it. And I found the Q Ride program brilliant. I'm still on it because I'm still a learner. But like the actual learning day, there's just 2 days of just riding slowly on a motorbike in circles, basically. And I found it really good as someone who historically is very good at stalling a motorbike, but very bad at going past 20 k's an hour. I can now confidently jump on one and at least get to 30 k's an hour. So I found that was pretty handy. But I'm just going to double check this bad boy is going to fit on top of here. So I put them like that, and then this one. You're going to cooperate with me. This needs, yep. That's still sitting quite proud, eh? Something's not right there. Come off, there we go. Yeah, I gave myself a massive blood blister putting this back together too the other day. It's a lot more expensive to get a motorcycle. Yeah. And it's like, that's partly the reason why I went with a cheapie. Because it's like, the less money you're spending on like your first motorbike, in my mind, it means the less money you'd be spending on, the more money you can spend on learning stuff. And that's Australia. Taxes, fees and fines, love it. That's exactly right. I call it the war on recreation, because I'm 29 now, but even in my 20s I was starting to notice like a lot of things that people do for fun you either couldn't do anymore, were taxed the crap out of, or just have so many licenses and regulations attached to them, it's just become almost impossible to do it. Hey, Zoran. But yeah, it's a great country. I love Australia. We're very, very lucky to be living here, but at the same time, it's like, we're on recreation, oh, hey. Sorry, that was my dogs. I'll be right back. Girls, come here. Are you okay? Yes, you're okay. Okay, that's it. They do that sometimes. They play a little bit too rough, and then one of them yelps, and then she goes all crazy psycho. So I don't really know what it's about. I think I know what the issue is. Because I know there's supposed to be tension on the chain. Ooh. Actually getting compression there. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. I'm very happy about that. Anyway, I'm going to put this into a... Right there, that'll do. I completely forgot something very important before I start putting this back together. That's to get... I knocked that over. To get these out and prop up this... It makes life a lot easier. That's going to make life a lot easier. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, continuing on. So, I know that part has to go to the front. And I'm just wondering what it's getting caught on, because it can't be that. That's in exactly how it's supposed to go. Something's got to be not quite right that's stopping this from sitting in there properly. We got that there. Maybe if we just take that off for now, because I can always push that seal back on. Yes, and they said something about putting lubrication on this. Alright. It's one of just pop it in and just give it a turn, because maybe it's the issue. It's experiencing this because of the worm gear. Maybe. Nah, see, that's not supposed to sit like that. Ha! Problems. Oh, it's not wanting to work. Something isn't right. Something isn't right at all. Problems. Who we got here? Down here, scrolling across home. Yeah, how you going, man? Honestly, I haven't thought about those videos for a really long time. What's going on? It's good to see you again. Oh, tell us, did they help? Because I've got a brother in the army, and he said that a lot of people mention the video, and I don't know how much they helped, because obviously it would have changed a fair bit since I went to Kapuka, but I like to think that a lot of the advice remains current. Yeah, so that's not engaging somewhere over here. So we'll just lift it side up a little bit. Maybe. Hold on, I might have figured it out. Both sides need to go down at the same time. No. Yeah, so something's sitting proud that shouldn't be sitting proud. Where is the issue? Something isn't right. Okay, let's have a look. What could it possibly be? It's something on this end. It isn't playing ball, I think. See, problems, good old problems. Maybe this just needs to tap across. I don't know, I think that might be the issue. I'm just trying to think, there's nothing I'm forgetting. It helped, but I had flat feet and got turned away. Gosh, footy. Oh yeah, no worries, man. You as well, have a good one. That's a shame to hear that, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? Kind of like shin splints in the army. It's just, you get shin splints, and like, oh, can't take you because you got fucking bones, or asthma. Asthma's another one. It's like, yeah, you've got medication though. And I understand that war zones probably don't have the same medication, but hear me out. I forgot what I was going to say. I've got that on the right way, yeah. Definitely. Now, I wasn't having this issue before. That just slipped right over the way it was supposed to. I'm just going to try tapping that down again. This whole video is going to be me trying to put this back on. King Charles definitely shouldn't be sitting proud. I don't understand what the context of that comment is, but if you feel free to explain something about King Charles sitting proud. So there's something going on here, and things are not working the way they are supposed to. I see. No, I don't. Nah, okay. I'm completely lost. I don't know. I don't know why it's sitting proud. Okay. We're going to actually try and properly diagnose it this time. It's not even going forward now. I think it might be these dowels playing up. No. Try that. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Somewhere you are not doing what you should be doing. I'm just going to see if rotating this is going to help. Yeah, so it's got to be oh no. Nah, it's the bloody cams and the camshaft for some reason lifting up the. That shouldn't be happening. How about, instead of stuffing around with it, I actually just consult the manual and we see where we get to. So, good thing I'm doing this now, and notice this now, instead of having the engine blow up on me. Apply non-hardening air, blah, 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 blah. And partially fill the cam feed crust with engine oil. Place the camshaft cover in position and insert the bolt. Note that the two bolts fitted on the extreme left-hand side of the camshaft cover each. Wait. Note that the. Oh, hold on. Am I supposed to take these out? These bolts here? Surely not. Because that would make sense. They're supposed to move around. Anyway. Two locating dowels are in position in the cylinder head. Yes. So we got one there. We got one there. Maybe that's the issue, is they're a little bit bent. Because there's nothing else that is sitting proud that should not be sitting proud. Except that. That looks like it's a little higher than it's supposed to be, but that one's fine. Oh no. I think I see the issue. Possibly. Possibly. Possibly perhaps. No, we don't. That is not an issue at all. I don't know, people. This one's being a bit funky. It's been a bit funky indeed. Anyway, if anyone's got any suggestions as to why this camshaft cover that I keep trying to put on is sitting a little bit proud in this area, and when I'm turning the motor, which you'll see those cams that you can't really see it in the video. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Anyway, as I turn that thing's lifting up and down. So maybe what I need to do to make sure that that's not rocking out of place for whatever reason is check that that's actually not jumping out of position. It doesn't look like it is. Yeah, it looks like it's staying where it's supposed to. Yeah, it's a funny one, that one. And I've put back everything exactly how the manual told me. So I don't really know what's gone wrong here at all. It's a funky one. A camshaft cover joint. Yeah, that is a funky one indeed. Tighten the bolts very evenly. Yep, know that much. Two bolts fitted on the extremely there. So I didn't even have this issue when I was taking it apart. I'm just going to do that again, and I'm going to very slowly rotate it. Last time, I promise. Last time. It might have to leave this one until tomorrow and Google it and push down on that. See, that wants to lift up, so something's going wrong there. Yeah. Something's definitely going wrong there. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to get that one and that one. I'm going to bolt this bad boy in place. I don't know which one goes where. That one doesn't go there, that one goes there. And that one is there. And I'm just going to see how much resistance there is when I go to turn the cylinder. I'm pretty sure that's not really. No, looking for a full length bolt. Goofy. I may not know much about motors, but I do know how to fault find. Somewhat. I can somewhat fault find. It's like a core part of my job. More like actual job at work. Fault finding is like critical. I'm pretty sure it is a short bolt. Stooge. Let's try that again. Yeah, alright. So you go back there and you come with me. In there. So it should, because maybe that's it. Maybe there needs to be that little bit of resistance to make those valves move. Didn't have it on backward. Yeah, no, I double checked. Actually, I've probably triple and quadruple checked whether it was on backwards or not. I'm only going to tighten these up a little tiny bit. Yeah, get in there. Just a little tiny bit. I don't want to make anything. Oop. Okay. So that's where we're at. And have a look, make sure that's all lined up. Yes. Now, you should it's moving. And best part, yeah, I'm getting air movement. I think it's supposed to do that. I didn't break it, thank goodness. I was really fucking worried that I broke it for a second. And apologies for swearing. Oh, I was so worried I had something wrong. So worried. But it's okay. It is okay. I didn't completely stuff it up. So we can take this out and put it all back together. And I'm pretty sure these ones don't have torque settings. Because so far everything, oh actually no, they do. They do have torque settings. Everything in the manual so far has had torque setting. Yeah. Yeah, it's literally apply non-hardening sealing compound to the mating surface of the camshaft cover. Check the two locating dowels are in position in the cylinder head. Lubricate the camshaft and valve thoroughly and partially fill the cam feed truss with engine oil. That's it. So lubricate the camshaft and valve thoroughly. So, Mr. Passerby, you would have some really good information on this. When they say lubricate the cam, am I right to use WD-40? Because I don't have motorbike engine oil or really clean motorbike. I've got like slightly dirty motorbike engine oil with me right now. I don't have the clean stuff. So I will await your response on that, but in the meantime, I'll get a little bit of this flush stuff that I used. Mildly dirty. I do have a container around here somewhere I can use to decant that. Just got to find a container now. But there's a there's. I just double checked. There is a torque setting. But thank you for saying that. Where are you? I had a whole ass container. That'll do. Old coffee container, but it's clean. I always clean out my old glass coffee containers. Right. Give me a little bit of this. I'll be generous with it. Be very generous with it. Alright. Now, it's not the cleanest oil I could have gotten my hands on, but WD-40 is probably not going to work, is it? I thought about it after I asked the question. Thought, yeah, WD-40 is probably not going to work. But thank you for making sure to make that mistake. I mean, this whole thing's full of oil anyway, so surely I can just pour a little bit of oil over it and like slather it around with my fingers a little bit. Very clean fingers, mind you, so I'm going to put on gloves. But surely I can just pour oil over it because I've got to put oil in the motor before it runs again anyway. So, what I've got my gloves for. My goodness, never thought a pair of gloves would come handy in the shed, but that one's broken. I can't use that. Get out of here. Come on. I may as well just bring the whole box over because I'm gonna need more anyway for when I put the sealant on. Oh, and then to finally have my workbench back after getting this thing off of it, it's gonna be great. Use a water-based lubricant that doesn't irritate the skin. No, we're talking about the camshaft. We're talking about that. You stooge. We can't use a water-based lubricant. It's got to be oil-based because it's oil. Yeah, I do have a little motorcycle oil laying around. I've got some right here, so it's like I said, it's because I put something in and then I realised that I want to take the motor off, and it kind of like worked as a flush anyway to flush out all the crap in it, which I don't think the oil had been changed in a long time. It did run when I got it, but I decided to take the engine apart for some reason. Anyway, so I do have some oil here. I do need to fill up these baths, so I'm just gonna pour it straight in. They said partially fill it. That's what I'm gonna do. I reckon. Actually, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm just gonna pour the oil in there. Be generous with it. Oh, it looks like liquid Vegemite. Actually, it looks more like honey. Like, you know when you get that really good bush honey and it's like that dark colour? That's what it looks like. Looks good. Anyway, and what I'll do is, while my fingers and hands are there, just give this half a turn. I probably overfilled this bath here, whoops. Oh well. It's gonna be, I'm pretty sure it'll get rid of any excess oil it doesn't want in that bath somehow. Probably just flick it out. At least the parts won't rust. Everything will be lubricated real nice. Just give it like a quarter turn, rub it with some oil. Yeah, not that kind of oil. I really like that comment though. We're getting some funny comments on this stream. That's hilarious. Right. Because I don't want nothing rusting. So I know a little bit about rust. I know that rust ain't good. You don't want rust in your life. And he who rests rusts, which I've found is always a brilliant saying. Alright, I think that's probably generous enough. It's got enough oil all over it. That'll do. Now, mating surface. Wipe my hands. Next thing we got to do is put some gasket cement on here. But before we do that, we're going to read the instructions. Yeah, no, my dad gave me the same advice because I did actually go out and buy the incorrect oil, and I was about to put it in. I was just like, hey, it says like 20W50, and like, is that the right oil to put in here? Because it just, I don't know, it just seems wrong. And then he's like, no, don't use that, that's car oil. So it's the same viscosity, but specifically for motorbikes. And that was another good piece of advice we got on the Q-Ride course, was don't use car oils in a motorbike. So, read instructions. Are you even male? Hey, Greg, how you going, mate? I always do this because I have this like bad habit of second guessing myself, but it's actually saved my ass multiple times, so it's not really a bad habit in the end. Directions: remove all gasket material and thoroughly clean surfaces with mineral terps and let it dry, which we've done. So remove cap, unscrew and remove seal, replace nozzle and cut at a 45-degree angle to extrude squeeze tube with steady pressure to form a 1.5 to 3 millimeter thick bead of sealant. Squeeze onto one of the surfaces to be joined around the perimeter of the part. Around the perimeter of the part around the bolt holes. Hey? Around the perimeter of the part around the bolt holes. Ah, yeah, no, I get it now. I just had to look and it made everything easy. Oh, geez, we had lots of comments coming in. 20W50, yeah. No, it's that was what the manual said. The manual said 20W50, and I was like, all right, that's old. I think it said 20. I'll double check that because now you got me second guessing myself. But I'll double check it. Pretty sure it said 20W50 in the manual. Oh, so that's literally it. Okay, it's just cut a hole in it, squeeze some on, and go nuts. Should have a little foil seal. Yeah, I'll see if the scissors will do it. They probably won't. Probably have to use a Stanley knife. But I'm gonna be like, there you go. Scissors work just fine. Before I do that, I want to make sure everything is the way it is supposed to be. So we've got everything's oiled, that's ready to go on, bolts are ready to just go straight into the holes. Gloves need to be on my hands. I'll double check the manual, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that needs to happen. Okay, so it's just a tiny bead. I am terrible at applying like silicone around edges like Sally's no gaps. I do it too. I take photos every step. Yeah, no, that's my camera roll on my phone right now. I've just tapped my pants for my phone and realised I'm like talking to it. But yeah, my camera roll right now is just full of pictures of stuff that I've taken apart. I can delete a whole bunch now because I put it back together. And then like I got the manual anyway because I used to have the PDF manual on my phone and it was trash. My phone got covered in oily fingers and grit and grime and gross, just gross. Yeah, all right. What are we going to do? I'm going to go put these gloves somewhere more accessible but not in my way, which is like right over here. Chuck some gloves on. Parts, except the handlebars, they changed them to like they're like Harley handlebars, like they come back. And I really don't like that. I want to get the original straight handlebars and chuck them on because the motorbike I was learning on was straight handlebars and I enjoyed that a lot more than I think I would having my wrist at a weird angle. I know some people like that. I obviously haven't ridden enough to know what my personal preference with riding is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be straight bars because it's like a push bike then. And that's the most exposure I've had to riding is a push bike. What are you whining about? What is it? Are you hungry, are you? I promise you. I don't know how long we've been off. Oh, nearly an hour. Yeah, I'll probably end at an hour. At an hour, not in an hour. But we're going to get this back on, tighten up these screws, and that way this whole thing's put back together, and then probably do another stream tomorrow and chuck it back in the frame. But I've got to clean the frame first. It's quite dirty. All right. Focus. It's got to be a 1.5 to 3 millimeter bead. Around the outside, not getting it in the bolt holes because I'll probably never be able to take the bolts off if I do. Here goes nothing. Gentle pressure. Are you going to come out or what? There we go. It's like grey. It's like a grotty grey colour. Literally looks like worm guts. That's what it looks like. I'd say that's good. That's probably a little bit too much there. Oh, I got a little bit on the outside. No. I suppose it probably doesn't matter so much as long as you don't contact like moving parts. That's probably the part where you don't want to. So tell me, while I'm doing this, I'm going to ask a couple of questions about like gasket cement. Is this because when I took off like the cover on the alternator magneto thingy that you used to time the cam correctly, there was like all this old red crap all over it. Do people use this as like in place of a gasket? Because this is what the manual actually says, use this, because there is no gasket that's on the cover. I'm guessing it's probably like, I suppose it's a little bit like welding, isn't it? A little bit. Actually, maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why I'm not so good at applying silicon to stuff, is because I think thinking too one-dimensional. Too one-dimensional. Need to think it's more like welding. The further you lift it away, the worse it gets. The closer you hold it, the worse it gets. If you hold it just the right distance, everything seems to be going quite smoothly. That goes around the outside, into there, and then bring that bead down there, and a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then we're good, tied in. Just like welding. Sweet. All right. Yeah, I might just smoosh a little bit of that over that way. Okay, now we can take off the gloves. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I didn't have to worry about it after all. I did have these bolts in an order, but now they're all a mess. Hey, that's enough. I was going to chuck them on the bench and install them one by one, because they are pretty straightforward where these bolts belong. So I'll figure it out pretty quick if they're in the wrong spot. I'm going to chuck this back down and try to not have a whole lot of movement when it comes down. There we go. Drop it. Don't drop it, but get a little tap. Okay. Are you going to be silly again, are you? That's alright. Because it wants me to move it just a little bit. Just to get it to a position where that comes down like that. Lovely. Excellent. And now we just start putting bolts in. So that's a little bolt. Little bolts go there, I believe. Start putting bolts in random locations. Nope, that one doesn't go. That one goes on the end. I remember that one because it's one of these bolts is obviously not an original, because it was there's like a whole bunch, obviously. I don't know why I said that. There's a whole bunch of bolts anyway, but one of them is like an Allen key fixture, and that's because someone lost a bolt when they were disassembling, reassembling this motor at one point. That's a big bolt, little bolt, go there. That's a little bit too low, so probably go to that one. That's a little bit too low. That one. One way to find out. That one will go there. Lovely. That one will go there. I think. The big bolts that go there. You've got a really long bolt that'll go there. Another really long bolt that'll go there. Then we got. Oh, I thought I lost a bolt then. Oh. What's going on out there, mates? These dogs barking everywhere. Hey! German Shepherds, always on that. Anyway, start hand tightening these, and I did get a feel for it when I was like making sure everything still fit. Hey, come on, come here. Come here. That's enough. Always on alert, these two. Anyway, I did get a feel for it. You learn pretty quickly if it's not supposed to go there, because it will tighten when it's not supposed to, or it will just not tighten at all. What about here? I'm not sure with those models. I don't recall ever using gasket cement on my bikes. Yeah, no, this it says specifically in the Haynes manual that you've got to use gasket cement. So, well, I bought it for, it was about $1,400 I bought it for. And like it ran at the time. It doesn't run now, obviously, because the motor's all apart, but Yeah, it basically everything's everything I've spent on it so far, including spare parts I've ordered and these dogs, and all like the extra effort and stuff I've put in, and other little bits and pieces I've had to buy. I wouldn't have spent over $2,200 yet. And if I can get it on the road and running for under $3,000, I reckon that's pretty good, in my opinion. But so 2 of these bolts are not going to be in their correct location. I can already tell because this one's playing up at the end here. So I reckon it's going to be, find out in a sec. I reckon that one's where it's supposed to be. This one, perhaps not. No, I don't think it is. There you go, got the brain power working. I'm unscrewing and tightening 2 different bolts at the same time. Yeah, I reckon that's not supposed to be there. I'm going to swap those ones around. I reckon you're supposed to go there. No, I don't think you are supposed to go there. No, I reckon that's incorrectus. Yep, that one's not supposed to go there. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So you're definitely supposed to go there then. Maybe you're just being deliberately uncooperative. Oh yeah, it was. Okay, it was just catching a little bit. Alright, so now that that's all down in there, I'll give this a quick wipe around the sides. Ew, I made it worse. Oh no. Oh, hold on, I've got terps right there. I should probably use that because it seems to work really well at removing all the gaskets. Except when they're baked on. It just does not want to remove all gaskets when they're baked on. I learned that the hard way. Alright, these 2, put them down. Got 2 right there, but the problem is one of the bolts I can't use torque settings on. I've started working and now I better get ready. G'day from Queensland, take care. Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm actually in Warwick, so I'm also in Queensland too. But yeah, thanks for popping by. It was good to get some good advice from you. So have fun at work. I presume you work night shift as well, just like me. So stay safe out there and look after yourself and try not to fall asleep. But yeah, no, thanks for popping by. Macy, that is enough. Far out. This dog, man. This dog. All right. So tighten these down. Still in loosening mode. That one will do. Now we've got to do it in reverse. Not reverse order, but staggered. That one will do. That one will do. That one will do. Yeah, that one will do. The thing, they've got paint on them too, these bolts, so I don't want to strip all the paint off them. And that one will do. Alright, that's all those bolts. So we switch out for a 10mm. And then we need to find that bloody Allen key. I don't know where I put it. There is an Allen key that needs to be used here at some point. That's sitting properly. Yeah. There. Feels good though. Feels good to be finally putting this thing back together. And if it runs when it's back together, like fully reassembled on the motorbike, if it runs, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to be a very happy man. So, and now I need to go find that Allen key. So I don't know where I put the bastard. What does this say? I have learning difficulties and I do magnet fishing as a hobby. Oh, and you're new here as well. That's actually pretty cool. What is the coolest thing you have found? Like, not the learning difficulty part, that sucks, but working with your hands is another great alternative way to learn things. I'm sure you found ways around it, and I hope you have, and I hope you got lots of support for it as well. But I want to hear about magnet fishing. What's the coolest thing you have found magnet fishing? Because I see videos every now and then. I'll be right back. We've got to find that Allen key, but I see videos that, oh, there it is. Lovely. Sorry, I get distracted very easy. I see videos of magnet fishing all the time. People just pulling up just the wildest crap out of water. And I know that, because I've seen it, people treat waterways as like trash cans for some reason. I don't know why you want to ruin that, but it gives rise to magnet fishing. And I've seen some cool stuff get pulled out magnet fishing. Like, obviously, you don't want to be finding bombs and stuff in a lake, or knives, because you don't know what that knife was used for before it got thrown in there. But what is the coolest thing you have found magnet fishing? I want to know. Because it's, as far as like hobbies that other people would look at and go, that's boring, but I would look at and go, that looks sick. Magnet fishing is one of them. But it's just, I've got too many hobbies already, so I can't really afford to take on another one. But let me live vicariously through you. Tell me, what is the coolest thing you found magnet fishing? I really want to know. Because, I can just imagine, because you think, especially in those cities in Europe and stuff, that have been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and all other places in the world where, you know, civilizations have risen and fallen, there's been war and famine and conflict, and you think about all the things that people would have just thrown in a lake, like going past, and it sucks that most of the cool stuff you want to find, like, you know, gold, is not magnetic, so it won't get picked up by a magnet. But there's so much history that would just be sitting beneath the surface of like lakes and rivers around the world that we'll probably never know about if it's not for people like you who go magnet fishing and make cool videos about it. So yeah, tell us what you found. I want to know. Oh, I forgot to put the bloody oil seal in. Oh no! I'm sure I could probably, don't lose it. I'm sure I could probably jag it from here, I reckon. If I can't really do anything else, and I've got to really let that sit and dry out. It's supposed to be a non-hardening, so this one says it dries into a rubber seal. So I'm going to presume that means that it does not harden. Although you can get hard rubber. I reckon I actually would probably be able to push that back in. If I really, no, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. There we go. Oh, now it wants to pop out at one end. Far out. That does not want to cooperate. Get in the hole, please. Now I'm going to get something soft that I can push in there. No, that's not going to work. Oh, that is quite frustrating, yes. The end of a pen, that'll do. Just push that in, make sure it's sitting nice and happy. But yeah, no, I'm serious. Tell us what's the coolest thing you found magnet fishing. I actually genuinely want to know. And I'm not saying that just, you know, for farm engagement. Because, I mean, those magnets are expensive, aren't they? Like, I've seen some hectic magnets that people use in those videos, like big ones. And I'm just wondering what the viability of like having an electromagnet would be. And then I just think about it too much. And then it just like, yeah. But it's really cool. Torque settings now. I'm going to get the torque wrench out. Wherever a torque there is. Got my old crusty torque wrench. 8mm bolts are 14, so let's say 16 foot-pounds. 16 foot-pounds and 7 foot-pounds. Unfortunately for me, this one doesn't go below 10. So we're going to make an educated guess. That is, 15 right there. And then if we just go below 10, we should be right. That's 15. I'm just going to err on the side of caution and just a little bit. The lights in this shed are like really good but really bad at the same time. I don't know how that works. That'll be these bolts. Sure. Yeah, I've had a torque wrench for years. This is the first time I've actually been able to use it for something. So which I think is really cool, because this torque wrench is probably older than me. I don't actually know how old it is, but it's made in Australia, so that should give you a hint of how old it is, because we don't really make stuff in Australia anymore. That should be a click. Yep. It probably needs to be recalibrated, but because it's such low torque that this thing is asking me to put on it. There we go. I'm not really too concerned about it. I just got to remember, keep a track of which ones I'm doing, because I'll probably forget. Click. There we go. But yeah, I had torque wrench for years and haven't had the really any opportunities to use one until I started working on this motorbike. That's going to need an extension there, which is really cool, because it makes me feel like I actually know what I'm talking about, which I don't, but it makes me feel like I do, and that's important. That is important to me. But yeah, so this torque wrench is old as vintage tool I bought. I love vintage tools, because my philosophy around vintage tools is that if it has lasted, let's say 40 years, looking still chromed, still good, still serviceable, chances are it'll last another 40 years. The rest of my life doing the exact same purpose and looking the exact same, not aging a day, just tooling it up pretty much. And I think that's really cool. I like old tools. Hence the reason I decided to get into like smithing and forging and all that jazz, because you get to spend a lot of time around old tools, old techniques, and a lot of old tools that are no longer serviceable, you can repurpose into something else. So you can essentially give that tool a new life, which I think is really cool. So these smaller bolts, I'm pretty sure we've got all the big ones. And that one, 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 that one. Yep. So the small ones are less than 10 foot-pounds, which is as low as this thing goes. So that'll be about, I reckon right about there will be it. This will probably go off immediately. Yeah. That's like stuff all, hey? So then I literally have to make an educated guess with this thing. So I reckon right about there, we'll do it. Yep, that's my educated guess, and that's it. That's the engine reassembled. So now I can. Oh, that's cool. I realize I have little engraving marks on there. That's it. That's the cover put back on. There's a couple other little bits and pieces I need to do before that's ready to go back in the motorbike. But that's pretty much it, folks. It's pretty much the end of this live stream too. Thank you very much for popping by. I'd have to say, out of all the live streams I've done on the channel in recent years, I've done some pretty enjoyable ones, like nearly 10 years ago. Of all the recent live streams I've done on this channel, this one's been pretty enjoyable. So thank you for hanging around and actually checking it out. I'll show you what we're doing next, and it's probably going to be tomorrow, because I'm quite busy for September, so I've got to try and get my live stream quota in. But this is what we got. So this is the engine reassembled. That's what I was using to show you what this is. So for those that don't know, I'm sure a lot of you, because you probably wouldn't have clicked on this if you didn't know a fair bit about motors, or at least had an interest in them. That's what I used to time the cam, which sits up top. That cover can actually go back on now. Screw it, we might do that too. But look, that thing is dirty. Needs a good clean. That's the second half of it. Also needs a good clean. And that's all got I'm just probably going to degreeze the crap out of that and make sure I don't, mess up these wires too much. But that, I don't know what that white thing is. It's like a nest. But this, so these are the handlebars. I've repainted them, but like after all that effort I put into repainting them, I actually just want to replace them because you'll see it's got like real Harley vibes. And I'm not a Harley guy. I'm looking for a badge that I can show you, but I'm clearly a Yamaha guy. That's a fuel tank, obviously. But yeah, this is all happening now. So I'm really keen to get this finished on the road. But before we do that, I'm going to do this. And I've really been looking forward to this because I had to actually, let's turn the camera around. I had to actually, for want of a better term, it's not JB Weld, but I had to like use this JB Weld crap on this thing. And this will also have the added advantage of I'm not going to get degreaser in there, which will probably mess some stuff up, which I really don't want to do. So we've got this, and still got 4 screws for it. So this is the cover for that part there, which is what we're going to put on right now. And I'll turn that a little bit so you can actually see it. Oh, this thing is dirty, 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 dirty. It is a dirty, dirty engine, and it needs a good clean. And see, it's leaking oil too. Like that's something that needs to be fixed. I have a gasket for it somewhere. I just can't remember where I put it. Oh, don't tell me I lost that. I don't need that. I really hope I haven't lost that bloody gasket. I know it's around here somewhere. Probably fallen down the back. As things often do in this shit, there's stuff just falls where it's not supposed to go. There it is. Nice stiff gasket, so it's not going to be any of that gasket cement again. So that one's just going to sit nicely there. Perfect. So I don't really need that anymore. Hey, so we'll give that a quick wipe. Got a little bit of crap on it. It's been sitting like that in the shed for, oh man, it'd been near 2 weeks now that this has been sitting here waiting to be put back together, because I've been like reconditioning parts and waiting for parts to arrive that took a lot longer than they should have, and yeah, it's just been a mess. But now we can put this back on. Stop your rot, these dogs. Bloody dogs. Hey, girls, hey. Sorry, everybody, I'll be right back. Girls, come on. Thank you, that's enough. Talking to you. Silly buggers. Anyway, wouldn't be an entertaining live stream if everything went to plan. So, gasket's just going to sit over that, and that is just going to go straight back on with the top pointed to the sun. I don't know if you can, I can tell because I know exactly which part it was, but which one's the longest screw? Because one of these screws, actually 2 of them maybe? No, it's just one of them. One of them's slightly longer than the others, so just got to remember which hole that one goes in. I'm sure we'll figure it out quick enough. So we just pop that there and line that up. I don't think it's that hole somehow. It's that hole. We'll do that. Anyway, what if we just chuck that through there and through there and pop that over the end. Come on, cooperate with me, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, have that hang down, loosey-goosey. Get the Allen key in there and just slowly, slowly, slowly. There we go. Perfect. And now, before we tighten these up, I'm going to line up this other one. Yep. Put you through there. Yeah, so the issue is whoever serviced this previously has clearly over tightened these, because they got like these where basically the pilot hole, I think that's a word for it. Hello, hi to everyone who said hi. Apparently I think it's a pilot hole. I don't actually know the correct terminology. believe it or not. I actually don't know what I'm doing most of the time. But basically the little like pilot hole where the screw threads through, they're all got like these little micro cracks in them because whoever tightened it up before did a shocking job of over tightening it. And when I was a young lad, who still don't know much about motors now, but knew even less about motors, I remember one of the very first lessons my dad taught me when I was watching him put something back together was anything with a gasket, be very cautious of over tightening it. Because if you over tighten it, you're going to warp your gasket, you're going to crack the metal that you're relying on to hold that seal in place, and basically you just completely compromise the whole idea of having that seal there. So I think that's pretty sound advice because I still use that today. This one doesn't want to thread through. I know that that's the right gasket, man. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it with my own eyes. Mine own eyes and mine own, I don't know, level of perception, who knows. I just hope I've got these screws in the right holes because it's going to be a pain in the bum to switch everything around last minute. But we won't really know until this one gets pretty much to the end of its thread length, because if it's too long, it'll bite too early. But I'm just hoping and hoping and hoping and hoping that this one goes, oh, and no, that's the end of it. Shiitake mushrooms. That is frustrating. Well, glad this is the last thing we're doing tonight because I'm hungry, I want to eat dinner. And you're probably sick of hearing me talk instead of actually doing stuff. So don't worry, folks. We're going to figure it out. It'll be all over soon. So what we'll do is just go in a clockwise order until we find the right hole. So that one's definitely for a small screw down the bottom. We know that much because that one refused to engage all of its thread. This would probably be a lot quicker if I used like a driver, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to be that guy that cracks the casing on the original motor. So that's close enough, and we'll just go around and tighten very carefully the end of this. I don't think it's going to be on the left side either. I think this is going to be another case of back it out, try again. Because it wouldn't make sense. It's either going to be top or bottom. Yup, just as I thought, it's either going to be top or bottom. Back that bad boy out. Out you come. Take the top one off. Give that a little. I reckon it's going to be the top one, eh? I'm like 75% confident. No, let's say 50% confident because it's either going to be top or right. So I'm 50% confident that it is going to be the top screw. That is the correct location for this longer one. Alright. Cooperate, please. 50% certain. Just felt a little bit of resistance. Push straight past it. Just ignore it. Just keep going. No such thing as stripping screws. It's not the top one. What the hell? Okay, we'll try the right one. So my 50% certainty was technically wrong, but technically right as well. Because it's going to be the other side now. At least we know that puzzle is solved. You know, had I gone anti-clockwise, I could have avoided all this. But because I chose to go clockwise, because it's what I'm used to, now I've got to do all this. Backing out, going back in. Oh well, it's all in the pursuit of fun and games and learning and development as a human being, because if you're not trying something new, what on earth are you doing with your life? Don't do the same thing every day, folks. It gets kind of boring after a while. Let's try something new. Try something different. Try something that scares you a little bit, like rebuilding a motorbike, because you don't know anything about motorbikes. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing you can do is you do nothing. So Yeah, that's the one. Literally, had I gone the other way, all of this could have been avoided. So, actually we'll go opposite order for this one. Just until we get a little bit of resistance. A little bit of resistance. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Oh no. Oh, someone's completely rooted this bloody thing, hey. I swear, there's little gremlins like that. Like there's a completely different bolt up here that's not supposed to be there at all. That thread is apparently Dunskies. It's just wrong. Can't even tighten it. Well, at least now I know if the oil leaks from there, it's not my fault because... Ugh. Bells! Oh, you're right there. What on earth was that? That was weird. Alright. I think that should do it. The motor is reassembled. Now I can just... All I have to do tomorrow is clean it. Yes, this is very good. This is worth celebrating. I'm going to go upstairs and have a beer. Oh, anyway. Well, that much tools and crap sitting on the bench. Obviously, this is a contact breaker and another funky little part that sits on the camshaft. I'm not quite sure what this one does, but I'm sure I'll read it again in the book and it will tell me. Yeah, so that still needs to go back on, but before I do that, I have to take a brief little foray into rewiring because it looks like that, which is no good, no bueno, as Spanish speakers would say. But it's literally just the one wire on that side. The other wire's fine. The braids have like come loose and stuff, but yeah, that shouldn't be too hard, and we'll do that tomorrow. So we're pretty much done for the night. That'll do. That'll do, little pig. That'll do. And I want to go have some dinner and a shower. So thank you very much to everyone who popped by and watched. This has been on live stream, as you can see, as the oil leak I was talking about. Yeah, that's it. I look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't even know who that is. So you know for a fact that I'm actually going to Google that after this live stream. Anyway, that's it. Motor's done. So all we need to do tomorrow, aside from fix that contact breaker, is clean all this out. Yeah, get all that mud and crap off of there. Motor goes back in, which is going to be fun. I'm not going to do that on live stream because that thing is heavy and I don't want you seeing me straining myself like I'm about to do a really big poo. Yeah, and then it's just a matter of working on to other parts. But yeah, I'm from Warwick in Queensland, so basically New South Wales because we're that far south, but Warwick is where I am. That's why I'm in a jumper. That's why I'm in a jumper in spring. It's because it's always bloody cold in Warwick. That's done. Put that back as well. But yeah, yeah, thanks everyone for popping by. There will be more videos on the channel, not necessarily related to motorbike stuff, but I'm trying to upload 3 a week. We'll see if I keep that up. I have sort of kept it up. It's just I'm trying to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's, yeah, some days I completely forget or I get home late from work and go, oh, I just could not be bothered, and it comes out on a Thursday or a Saturday. So there will be a video tomorrow and probably another live stream because I'm at home alone at the moment and I need to find some way to entertain myself because I don't want to get stuck in a gaming session that I have to end early for night shift. So we're going to do a live stream and work on the motorbike because I want to get it ready before Christmas. And my dad's coming down and he wants to see the motorbike. So hopefully I got it reassembled and maybe running before then. Who knows? Anyway, thanks very much for popping by. Have a lovely night and a lovely weekend. I'll see all you people later. Bye. Oops. Yep, just did the absolute boomer thing. Whoops-a-daisy.